The containment field crackled like a living storm as Thorne Declan materialized inside the Grand Tribunal chamber. 200 alien species, beings of every shape, size, and evolution, watched him with a mixture of awe and dread. They had voted to quarantine his homeworld for 3,000 years. Now, for the first time, a human stood in front of them again. The irony wasn't lost on Thorne. They feared Earth, enough to lock it away. Human Morvith, the diplomatic chancellor, spoke through all four of his voice chambers at once, his words echoing like layered harmony. Thorne Declan of Earth, do you understand why your planet has been isolated for 3 millennia? Thorne stepped forward onto the circular platform, the only living thing in a halo of blinding light. Hundreds of alien eyes fixed on him. Yes, he answered. Because you're afraid of us. A ripple of shock surged across the chamber. Gasps, chittering, the flare of bioluminescent skin, vibrating antennae recoiling. Even the veterans of cosmic war looked unsettled. Urith, a towering commander whose species had conquered 40 star systems, slammed a massive appendage against his console. Afraid? He thundered. We who stood against the void swarms? We who survived the great extinction? Yes, Thorne said quietly. Afraid because humanity is the one thing in this galaxy you cannot predict or control. Jelix, the lead xenopsychologist, floated forward in her suspension field, tendrils twitching with agitation. Your species lacks the fundamental survival instinct every intelligent life form possesses, she said coldly. Humans have awareness of danger, but you do not respond correctly to it. We have fear, Thorne countered. No, Jelix interrupted. You acknowledge fear, but you do not obey it. A hologram flickered to life behind her. When we presented your ancient ancestors with a dreadmaw, one of the deadliest predators known, they didn't run. They didn't hide. She paused. They tried to tame it, a creature that wipes out armed battalions, and your people wanted it as a pet. More murmurs, more disbelief. Morvith activated a second hologram. When we gave your scientists the first equations for faster-than-light travel, we expected decades of careful study. He gestured at the projection. You built a test ship in 18 months and flew it into a black hole to see what would happen. The pilot survived, Thorne noted. Barely, Morvith snapped. And your species called him a hero instead of a warning. Rixtel, an elder insectoid whose hive had existed for 1 million years, spoke slowly, every word vibrating with ancient authority. All life evolves through selection. Those who take unnecessary risks die. Those who avoid danger survive. This is universal law. Except on Earth, Thorne said. Except on Earth, Rixtel agreed. Your world should have killed you many times over. Apex predators, plagues, ice ages, volcanoes, asteroid impacts. He tilted his head. And yet, not only did you survive, you dominated. Thorne didn't deny it. When others hid from predators, Rixtel continued, humans sharpened sticks and hunted the predators to extinction. When disease ravaged your lands, others perished. Humans studied the sickness until you defeated it. When the cold swallowed your world, you created fire and made the frozen places home. Morvith opened another file, an image of a scorched, brutal world. The Tartarus colony, he said, a planet toxic to most life. Temperatures that swing by 200 degrees, radiation levels high enough to erase DNA. He turned toward Thorne. No species in this chamber can live there. We have 6 million people living there comfortably. Thorne replied with a faint smile. Morvith slammed his appendages again. This is exactly why you terrify us. Any rational species avoids hell. Humans settle it. Jelix projected a neural scan. When other species confront extreme danger, their fear response triggers retreat, survival through avoidance. She pointed at a glowing human brain. But your neural chemistry floods with adrenaline and dopamine. You feel fear, but you also feel excitement, challenge, triumph. She stared at him. You're a species that has evolved to run toward danger. The chamber darkened as Urit's massive form rose. 3 centuries ago, your explorers encountered a null space entity, pure entropy, devouring matter. Entire civilizations fled before it. I know the story, Thorne whispered. Your crew, Urith said, did not run. He raised a trembling limb. The civilians were sent away. The crew flew their damaged ship directly into the entity and detonated their fusion core. 5 died destroying something that had consumed whole star systems. They saved 40,000 people on the nearby station, Thorne replied. We honor them. They were insane, Urith bellowed. Self-preservation is the essence of existence. For you, Thorne said softly, not for us. Humans learned long ago that some things matter more than survival. Duty, honor, protecting those who can't protect themselves. Running means letting someone else die, so we don't run. Silence spread across the chamber, a heavy, almost living stillness. Morvith spoke slowly, and that is why Earth remains quarantined. You are not just fearless, you are infectious. Wherever humans go, other species start taking risks, pushing limits, testing boundaries. Rixdell added, 17 species contacted humanity before the quarantine. All 17 began exhibiting risk-taking behaviors. Some nearly destroyed themselves. Others achieved breakthroughs that changed the course of their civilizations. The Deline Collective reached Tier 3 technology in 1 generation after meeting us, Thorne said. The Korvox cured a 1,000-year genetic plague with human help. You call us chaos. I call it evolution. Beautiful, terrible chaos, Gelix whispered. A force that can uplift or annihilate. Thorne looked at each species in turn. So what now? Do you keep Earth locked away because we make you uncomfortable? Or are you finally willing to see what we can do together? Urith's voice rumbled. The High Fleet approaches from the Galactic Rim, a threat unlike anything we have faced. Some believe we need humanity now, that only those who do not fear death can stand against the Hive. And the others? Thorne asked. The others fear, Morvith admitted, that unleashing humanity would be more dangerous than the Hive itself. Thorne smiled, a calm, human expression that made several species withdraw instinctively. You have a choice, he said. Play it safe and maybe lose everything. Or take a risk, just this once, and see what we can accomplish together. Rixdell's voice trembled. You would fight for species who imprisoned your world? Of course, Thorne answered, because we are human, and humans don't run from the darkness. We light fires and dare the darkness to come closer. The tribunal chamber went utterly silent as the vote began. 2 galaxies held their breath. Would they unleash humanity or lock it away forever? What do you think they decided? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more.